Imagine devoting years, perhaps decades of your life to a single pursuit. Every decision, every sacrifice, every late night justified by one belief: this will be worth it someday. Now imagine that someday finally arrives, and instead of fulfillment, you feel an unexpected emptiness. Not disappointment, not failure, just a quiet, unsettling sense that something essential is missing. This moment doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't come with drama or collapse. It often arrives in silence, after the applause fades, after the goal is reached, after the world tells you that you've made it. And if you've ever felt this, even briefly, then stay with me. Because what we're about to explore may change how you see success forever. From the earliest stages of life, we're taught to climb. Higher grades, better jobs, bigger achievements. The message is subtle but constant. Forward motion equals progress, and slowing down means falling behind. As the year nears its end, this pressure intensifies. Reflection season turns into comparison season. We look at what we've accomplished and measure it against what others seem to have achieved. Suddenly, contentment feels dangerous. Gratitude feels premature. Success, as society frames it, becomes highly visible. It wears polished clothing. It drives impressive machines. It posts carefully curated moments for the world to admire. And without realizing it, many of us begin chasing symbols rather than substance. We compare our behind-the-scenes struggles to other people's highlight reels. We forget that what we're seeing is edited, filtered, and incomplete. Yet emotionally, it feels real enough to fuel self-doubt and restlessness. Rarely do we stop to ask, what kind of life do I actually want to wake up to every day? And that question, unasked, quietly steers us onto a track we may never have chosen consciously. Ambition is not inherently harmful. It gives direction. It builds resilience. It pushes us beyond comfort. But ambition without awareness can slowly blind us. There are countless unspoken stories of people who reached remarkable heights only to feel profoundly lost once they arrived. People admired by others, yet disconnected from themselves. People who achieved everything they were told to want, yet struggled to explain why joy felt so distant. The warning signs are rarely dramatic. They show up as minor compromises: skipped meals, delayed vacations, conversations postponed. Promises made to ourselves that begin with, "once things settle down." Over time, stress becomes familiar. Exhaustion becomes normal. Passion turns mechanical. And the language inside our minds changes. What once felt like choice begins to feel like obligation. We stop asking whether we want this life and focus only on whether we can afford to step away from it. By the time we notice something is wrong, we're often too deep into momentum to stop easily. Every pursuit demands something in return. When ambition goes unchecked, the cost is rarely paid all at once. It's collected slowly. Physical health is often the first currency exchanged. Sleep is shortened. Rest is postponed. Tension settles into the body and stays there. We tell ourselves it's temporary, but temporary becomes routine. Relationships follow. Friendships fade not from conflict, but from neglect. Family connections weaken through absence rather than intention. Shared moments are replaced with hurried interactions, and eventually, silence fills the gaps. Then comes the most painful cost of all: perspective. Looking back and realizing that moments which could have been lived fully were rushed through or missed entirely. That the joy you were chasing always existed in places you were too busy to notice. This realization doesn't scream, it whispers, and it stays. The most important truth is this: recognizing you're on the wrong track does not mean you've failed. It means you've awakened. Redefining success begins internally. It asks uncomfortable questions. Questions like, who am I doing this for? What am I afraid of losing if I slow down? What have I been postponing that actually matters? True recalibration requires boundaries. It means treating rest as essential, not optional. Protecting time for reflection, connection, and health. Not because they improve productivity, but because they make life livable. There is also power in understanding sufficiency, knowing when enough is truly enough, when chasing more no longer adds meaning, only weight. Choosing alignment over approval takes courage, but it restores something far more valuable than status. It restores clarity. Fulfillment does not arrive as a grand achievement. It emerges quietly, through presence, through noticing, through choosing how you show up in ordinary moments. There is a quiet rebellion in valuing peace more than recognition, in choosing depth over display, in living in a way that feels honest rather than impressive. When you begin aligning your life with your inner compass, ambition transforms. It no longer controls you, it serves you. And the journey itself becomes meaningful, not just the destination. So ask yourself, what is one small step I can take today to live more honestly? Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Because that step, however small, can change the direction of your entire journey. And stay with us, because this conversation is only beginning. What comes next may help you see even deeper truths about the life you're building. Now I want to hear from you. What part of this story resonated most? Where do you agree? And where do you see things differently? What questions or themes would you like us to explore next? If this message spoke to you, support the channel by subscribing, liking the video, sharing it with someone who needs it, and adding your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters, and this journey is richer when we walk it together.